Well, there are numerous legal issues that farmers and ranchers often face, from bankruptcy filing to state-specific farming regulations. Well, the field of agricultural law is very broad and dynamic. Roger McEowen with the Washburn School of Law joins us now to break down a few recent court developments. Roger, as always, appreciate you being here. Trying to get a little insight. We're going to cover this first case. It involves Chapter 12 bankruptcy. Talk about the highlights with this one.
Yeah, good to be with you, Suzanne. Chapter 12 is for family farmers, and Congress enacted it during the height of the farm debt crisis in the mid-1980s, and it's a reorganization bankruptcy. It's not liquidation bankruptcy. So you get a chance to get back up on your feet if you can put a reorganization plan together that's feasible and it'll allow you to pay your creditors off over time. Well, you can modify your plan if your circumstances change. And that's what was going on in this case. In fact, the debtor had modified their reorganization plan 4 times. And of course, the creditors didn't like that at all. They claimed the debtor simply wasn't able to put a feasible plan together that they could pay off their creditors with. And they wanted the case dismissed and have this individual liquidated in a Chapter 7. And the court said no, that the debtors had established that indeed there had been substantial changes in their circumstances. So they allowed the 4th modified bankruptcy plan.
So what should farmers, ranchers know about this case as they move forward? And what do they need to make sure they are crossing their T's and dotting their I's?
Right. Well, farmers can't control the weather. They can't control the markets. So the bankruptcy judges generally are pretty lenient with respect to farm debtors in Chapter 12. And I'm speaking generally as a whole, but you have to have proof that your situation has indeed changed, and you cannot abuse the process. So judges don't like that if you do that.
Well, the next case I want to talk about focuses on enforceability of a veterinarian's lien. Give us a little recap on this.
Yeah, a lot of states have lien statutes, and liens are really good because if you can assert a lien and enforce that lien, you're going to come ahead of prior perfected security interests of that particular debtor. This is a Kansas case. It's a strange case on the facts. We got a Flint Hills rancher that's got cattle. The veterinarian has cared for these cattle in the past. He knows whose cattle these are. But there was confusion as to how these cattle actually showed up at his office. It was just a trailer that was left with the cattle at his office, no instructions, but he knew the history of these cows, and so he took care of them. And of course, he wanted to get paid. But there was a dispute as to who took the animals there and who, if anyone, authorized his care.
So what was the court's ruling? I mean, was he able to keep the cattle until he got paid? How does this work?
No, he couldn't prove his case. He would have had a veterinarian's lien if he could have proven that somebody asked for his services and there was some type of deal he could show, maybe some type of written agreement or a diagnosis that somebody signed off on and agreed to the charges. But there was none of that. It was just like we see often in ag. We know everybody, and so we just think we can go ahead and render these services and I'll have a lien in this situation to get paid when I don't. And the court said, you don't have any proof of anything. Had you had that veterinarian's lien, you would have beat out this rancher's prior perfected lenders, but he lost. He didn't get his lien.
Hey, I know before we wrap, you've been a member, of course, with our family here at RFD-TV for a number of years. I understand that you recently welcomed a new member to your own family.
Yeah, we did. And it's hard to stay composed, but yeah, Connor Scott McEowen, baby Mac, was born last week on July 11, and that's my son and my grandson. My son Michael and his wife Kelsey welcome Connor to their home.
Oh, congratulations. Beautiful family, and of course, carrying on the legacy of the McEowen name. Roger, thank you so much for sharing that with us, and congratulations. I know, very emotional. Love you very much, buddy. Thank you for all you do for us. Roger McEowen with the Washburn School of Law. Always appreciate him being here. Congratulations again on his new grandson.